Hello YouTube, Atlanta to Dallas Aviation here with another video, and this video is going to be one of my currently rare unveiling videos. As you can see, it's only going to be this one model that I just now received, and this model is part of a 3-model order that I made some time ago. So this model was actually ordered with the Qantas A380, which you can search and find my unveiling for that model, and I believe that model was a one model only unveiling also, because I got that one separately. And then the other model I'm waiting for in this 3-model order is Aviation 400's version of the new Air India livery on an A350-900. So that's the other one I'm waiting on. Aviation 400 hasn't evidently gotten around to being able to make that model. I don't know if it's a legal thing or not, but they haven't gotten around to it yet. I was hoping when I got my email that something from this order was coming. I was hoping it was going to be both of them, but it turns out it's just this one, which means this video should be shorter, but it probably won't be. Partly because it's my first video in, I don't know, at least a month, if not longer. And part of the reason for that is because I'm just spending most of my time trying to find another job. You would think, not being employed, I would have a little bit more time to make more videos, but at the same time, I'm using most of that time to look for jobs. So, oh, and by the way, for millennials and Gen Z that are saying they're having a very hard time finding jobs that are supposedly out there, it's not just you. I have 36 years of experience in aviation, especially commercial aviation, and I've only gotten two interviews since April. So even though I'm a Gen Xer, there are still things that the job market is looking for that even sometimes the people who have been working in the real world for some time just either haven't been able to grasp, even though they've tried to learn it, like me, or they just haven't added new skills to their job set. So just remember, you also have to keep on growing. Just because you may be out of college, you still need to be adding either real world experience, which might mean taking a minimum wage job if you didn't at least work a job for extra money while you were in high school and stuff. And also, just to let you know, when I graduated college, I'm sorry this is turning into a speech, but when I graduated college, it wasn't only everybody went to high school and got a high school diploma, but not near as many people went to college and got a college degree. So, but now, college degree, undergraduate degree, has turned into what a high school diploma used to be. So now everybody has a college degree. So you either have to do a postgraduate, or you need to think about learning a skill and going into that kind of field. And trust me, you can make just as much money in jobs like that as you can with, and sometimes more than you can with a white collar job, if you will. Anyway, enough of that rampage. So for today's unveiling, we have this one. This is Aviation 400 787-9 Dreamliner in the United Evo Blue scheme. And as you can see, the registration number is November 19986 in 400 scale. And then this is kind of what the box looks like. No big deal here. And then the back of the box is here. And you can see here you've got your Alpha Victor 41902 as your item number. So I will be adding this to my MADB list as well as my Excel list of models. Now what I have done, this model is one of the first 787s to have magnetic gear. So I already put the magnetic gear on because by now you've seen several people put magnetic gear on their most recent Aviation 400s. So I'm not doing a tutorial about how to put your gear on. So I already put the gear on. What I do want to show you just real quick with this particular model, and probably with other at least 787, 9, maybe even 10 models, I wanted to show you the underside of the plastic carriage. So here it is. I'm not sure really how well you can see this, but anyway, you can kind of see where the airplane would be sitting in the cradle here. This little box here is where you will find your magnetic gear with gear down. But then if I turn this over a little bit, I'm not sure how well you can see this, but this little slit, if you will, right here, this is where you're going to find your stand. Your stand, I don't have the arm on here, but that's where the stand is, and it's also where the gear up parts are, as well as the tool to get the gear up parts out if you decide to sometimes show it as gear up and sometimes show it as gear down. So this little spot again is where your stand and the tools and your gear up parts are. So I just thought I don't think anyone's ever really shown that. That's the top, and I showed it from the bottom because it's kind of hard to see these spots from the top view. But anyway, so moving on, bring in my turntable here, which, oh shoot. Alright, I'll let the power to the turntable go. There we go. Alright, power is back on. We will bring this beautiful model in before I turn on the turntable. Alright, so you know what I didn't do in preparation for this video is I didn't do my extra information, so I'm not going to have for this video I'm not going to have the seating arrangement or engine types. I just can't remember what the engine types for the Dreamliner are or is. I'm also not sure if there's several types you can choose from or if it's just one, but I don't have that for you today. So instead before I turn on the turntable here, which is, so those things are what I often talk about. Okay, there we go. That seemed to focus better. Sorry I can't get in closer, but I have a lot of stuff in the background, so it tries to focus on stuff in the background because it would rather focus on something further away the closer I get. So it does that sometimes. Well, anyway, so you got your Aviation 400 Dreamliner here, one of their best molds. And as you can see, we're focusing on the nose and cockpit windows, and you also can see the Star Alliance logo there in between cockpit windows and the L1 door. You got some nice printed details there on the L1 door, and you've got the ship number, or at least part of the ship number down there on the nose gear. Nice nose gear there. And moving on back, you got your nice big United titles there. And as you can sort of see, you can also see the 3D beacon light on the top there, which only Aviation 400 has. They also have it on the bottom, but cannot see it at this angle. You have your nice engines there, and you can also see the well, the L2 door is there in between the T and the E and United. You got our main gears there, the L3 door, and the red navigational light on the port side of the aircraft there. Right there, you can see right there. It's green on the starboard side. And then you see the Dreamliner there, and we have our registration number there, starting just above where the fifth from last window would be in American flag in L4 door. And then there is the Evo blue tail and the horizontal stabilizer with also, you can't see, but you'll see when I turn on the turntable, a nicely molded CPU there in the back. So with that, we will move out a little bit so we can turn on the turntable. Make sure my power source doesn't turn off. All right. Let's get him turning. And he is, of course, turning in the direction I don't really want him to turn, but that's okay. Alright, so another reason I'm a little bit, while you're watching this go around and you take a good look, another reason I've been behind on making videos, you can maybe see in the background I've got some, I don't know what exactly you call them, they're just foldable cardboard or foldable paper or whatever you want to put it. This back here, which is not the subject of this video, but this is my cargo building. This is an arm for an airport, and I was actually hoping to debut my fictional Global Alliance International Airport this past weekend. I was hoping to do it on Labor Day, since I know many people who work in commercial aviation probably had to work that day, so it would have been nice to put that out there. But my daughter brought home something, and now the whole household has it. So I just did not, I barely feel like doing this video. So, but I got this model Tuesday or Wednesday, and I didn't even open it till yesterday. So that's how poorly I've been feeling. So anyway, so you're getting a good look at this United 787-9 Dreamliner by Aviation 400. I love Aviation 400. I know that some people don't think their A350 or their 777-300 are the best molds, but I don't know what it is about having the 3D beacon lights, but I just love that. And they do a really good job of doing extra printed details. So on those two particular molds, the A350-900 and the 333, I feel like they make up for the fact that they're not necessarily the best mold. They're not horrible by any stretch, but they're a little bit lacking on those two molds. But the extra detail and stuff that they usually have usually makes up for it. I recently saw a 777-300 video that compared Aviation 400 NGs and Gemini Jets / JC Wings, where amazingly, I mean, at least the person did a pretty good job on giving scores and stuff, and somehow the NG won. And I really maybe it is a good mold, and I will concede to that. But the fact that the tail cone only of where the APU is, they didn't mold the APU. They just do a printed APU, and it looks like the tail, the very back cone area of the old Gemini Jets, and it also looks like what the Phoenix current mold looks like. So I'm kind of like, I really feel like NG should have done a better molding job back there, and so I can't really give them credit for that. But NG ended up winning his by points, and part of what happened with the Aviation 400 is that his unit had some not so good quality control spots with the paint. So he took off a pretty good amount of points out of 5 for quality control. So I think if it hadn't been for some paint smudges and things, the way that I wish I could remember who did it, or I would say who it was. But you probably, if you watch as many videos as I do, you probably know the video I'm talking about. But he did, he gave, I thought was a fair point structure based on the units of each of those models that he had. But I do believe that even though the circumference of the fuselage was not on point for the Aviation 400, I think that if it hadn't been for the quality control things with the paint smudges, it probably would have at least ranked as good, in different ways, of course, but as good as the Gemini Jet / JC Wings mold. But like I said, for me, the 3D beacon lights are what sell it for me, more than just the fact that the circumference of their triple threes are not on point. But anyway, that's my opinion. The opinion of the person who was giving the ranking was also like there were points in all of them that made it difficult for him to choose which one he actually liked the best. So he was not like, well, I'm not going to buy Aviation 400 ever again because they ranked the lowest. But it was just, it was a video, and he did a fair job in his assessment. So bravo. If you're watching this video, I totally agree with your assessment of the units that you had. So anyway, that is enough rambling about someone else's video and about a model that I'm not even looking at today. So I'm sorry for that, and I hope to have my debut of my fictional airport up this weekend, this coming weekend, which would be the weekend after Labor Day. But I don't count on it. I know I shouldn't say that if I want to get more subscribers, but that's, unfortunately for me, that's just the way it kind of goes. But I will get you as many videos as possible. So if you enjoyed this video, please consider leaving a like and sharing it. If you enjoy multiple videos of mine, also please consider subscribing to the channel. And basically that does it for this video. So until my next video, which hopefully is going to be my debut video for my fictional airport, happy collecting.